How do we deal with a low motivation? Those days where we just don't feel like doing it. We know what we got to do, we know what we should do, but we just don't feel like it. So the first tool I have for that is getting to this understanding that motivation is what comes after action. Sometimes we get into this thought process that motivation is what comes first, it's what spurs action on. So then we get caught in this cycle of waiting to feel like it. We're waiting, well, we just don't feel like it today. We're not motivated. We're waiting for motivation to strike to then spur us on to take action. But if we can switch that around into our minds where we get to see and understand that motivation is a reward for taking action, it's what comes next, then we can flip that script and not be held back with saying, well, I didn't have the motivation to do it today. We can kind of just erase that and go, okay, that's not a necessary piece of the puzzle. We don't need to feel like it or feel motivated to do something. So that's the first step. And then second step is realizing that we already, somewhere else in our life, have the skill to do things even when we don't feel like doing them. And then all we have to do once we recognize that is just translate that skill. It's something we already know how to do. We're just translating that to our health and fitness. For example, a very common one is work. There's going to be days when you don't feel like going to work. There's no motivation to go. You don't feel like it, but you still manage to get up and just go. You can let that feeling be there. You don't have to change it or fight it or feel it. You can just accept, I don't feel like doing this today, and then you do it anyways. And we're able to do that in different scenarios because we have a very deep why behind why we're doing it, and we can really clearly see the link between the action and the outcome that it's giving us. For example, for encouraging ourselves to go to work, we go to work because we understand the value of it, that it's a piece of the process of being able to afford our groceries, look after our kids, pay our rent. Like, we can very clearly understand the why and why it's important to us. What are the outcomes that this is a bigger piece of the puzzle for? And then also, it really lines up with our identity of who we believe we are. If we believe that we're a good employee, or we're responsible, or we're a good caretaker, then we will do the actions in alignment with that, which would be like going to work even when we don't feel like it. We do it because it aligns with who we believe we are, and we understand the value of it and what it's giving us in return, even if that's a delayed return, like going to work for that one day. It's not that it crazy changes anything, but we understand it's part of the process of having a salary and having a job and being a good employee so you can get a raise and do all the things that you want to do. So with that knowledge, the next important step is getting a lot of clarity on the why. Like, why is your health important to you? What is it giving to you? More energy, you're able to be there for your kids more, you can have more experience, just be able to do more and feel better, enjoy this one life that you have. So getting very clear on why is it important to you to take care of your health? What are you getting from that, from being fit and healthy and having more energy? And then also being able to draw a really clear link in our mind of how is this action specifically connected to the bigger piece of the puzzle to giving us more energy and being healthy. And once we can do that, first recognize we don't have to feel like it to do something. Understand that it's worth it to us and the why it's important to us to do this action and how it's a part of the bigger process. All of these things will give us a leg up to get it done even when we don't feel like doing it, and then the reward of that is that feeling of motivation. Motivation doesn't come before action. Action comes before motivation, and then you get the feeling of motivation as your reward. So hopefully you can use a couple of those tips for those days where you don't feel like doing it, and that'll help give you a little boost to just do it anyways because it's worth it to you.